All right, everybody, welcome, welcome. Today's practice. So in today's practice, I'm going to be making it really easy for you. I'm going to be, so probably this is one of the most passive practices. Actually, it's not entirely passive. It's slightly active. It's very passive practice. So basically, all you got to do is sit comfortably or lie down, whatever's comfortable. And today I feel like just giving you a lot of very precise and magnificent blessings. And when I say something that resonates, then I want you to very gently nod your head. And when I say something, if for any reason it doesn't resonate, then you just very gently shake your head. And that just means it's not for you. That's fine. So if it resonates, you just gently nod your head. Like it's almost like you're moving your nose just 1 centimeter up and down. Doesn't have to be a very big nod. It's not that if you nod it more vigorously, something more will happen. Just got to gently say, yeah, I'm completely in tune with that. And if for any reason it doesn't resonate, then either you can tweak it in your mind, you can tweak it to make it true for you, or you can just say, okay, that's not for me. That's for others, perhaps, not for me. So again, just for those of you who just joined, I'm going to be making a series of loving intentions, infinite blessings, infinite precise blessings for all of you. And if it resonates, gently nod. And if it doesn't resonate, either shake your head. You can either do the left-right shake or the Indian head shake, which is like, yeah, maybe. Indians have a very specific way of shaking their head. So, all right, let's get started. Sit or lie down. Just feel as though you're in a cocoon of safety and coziness. You're in the lap of the universe. You're the favorite child of the universe. Yeah, I keep my screen off for these things. So if some of you are looking for why is it all black, it's because I keep my screen off. So just tune in. And it might help if you can just imagine that my voice is not my personal voice. This is the voice of the universe. Akashvani. So this is the voice of the universe. This is the voice of love. This is the voice of truth. And if you prefer, it's the voice of God. So that just adds another dimension to what we're doing. All right, so it's going to be a fun practice. Sit down, lie down, close your eyes. Anything I say that resonates, gently nod. If it doesn't resonate, shake your head. And we're starting. The first intention is that you cannot do this life wrong. You cannot do this life wrong. So no matter what you do, whether you turn right or left, whether you accelerate or slow down, whether you accomplish a lot or not so much, whether you help a lot of people or even neglect doing that, or maybe even hurt a lot of people, you can't do this wrong, because from the perspective of infinity, everything has its purpose. And even what may seem like not such a good thing, in the larger picture, that also was needed for somebody's growth, somebody's expansion, someone's fine-tuning. And so if you're open to this, then my blessing for each one of you is you cannot do this life wrong. And so relax that part of you that's always trying to get it right. You can't do this wrong. No mistakes. The blessing of no mistakes. And you have the capacity, not only the capacity, but you have this very powerful ability to be in a state of gratitude, to access gratitude, to be in a state of gratitude. You look back at your life with eyes of gratitude. In the present moment, you spontaneously feel grateful. And even looking ahead in your life, your dreams, your plans, your intentions, you're grateful, first of all, just to have that dream. There are a lot of people who don't dream big. Just the fact that you have a dream, you have a vision. Or maybe you're content and you're grateful for that as well. And you're grateful for the past, for the present, for the future. You're an awakened presence of gratitude. And you have gratitude at 3 levels. Gratitude at the level of thought, gratitude at the level of feelings, and gratitude also at the level of silence. This is called grateful silence. And so gratitude has completely penetrated and permeated and saturated and suffused your whole being. And that's my precise wish and blessing for you. And if that resonates, then gently nod your head. And let it in. Whatever I'm saying, it's important to not only hear it, but to notice what it does within you. Each thing I say will have some kind of impact. Allow yourself to be impacted. Allow yourself to feel the reverberations of it and the restructuring that's happening within you as you hear these powerful, powerful blessings, miraculous thoughts. And the other blessing for you, every single one of you, is that just like your body, when it's out in the sun, it knows how to convert that sunlight into vitamin D. It happens irrespective of your conscious intention or not. It just spontaneously converts sunlight falling on the skin into vitamin D. That's what your body does. It knows how to do that. So just as spontaneously as it does that, you have the capacity to convert the sunlight of awareness, of presence, of every life experience into vitamin D, which is vitamin delight. In everything you can find delight. In everything you find delight. The simplest of things give you delight. Whether it's having a cup of tea, whether it's talking to a friend, whether it's reading a book. And even if it's a difficult thing, you're delighting in, let's find a creative solution to this. This is helping me grow. This is helping me expand. So just like your skin converts sunlight into vitamin D, the same level of naturalness you convert every life experience, awareness, source energy into delight. And if that resonates, gently nod and let that be true for you. Tathastu. Tathastu means it is so, already so. You can either look at this as like an intention I'm making for you, but a more powerful way to look at this is I'm actually reminding you of something that's already yours, and you might just have forgotten. So this is a reminder. This is a wake-up call. Reclaim your inheritance. Reclaim your original capacity. You will have an easeful, joyful, and blissful life, and an easeful, joyful, and blissful transition from this life. So would you be open to receiving this blessing of an easeful, joyful, and blissful existence, and an even more easeful, joyful, and blissful transition from this experience? That resonates, you gently nod, and you take that in as your new reality. This is your new reality. And something has happened, we don't know what. But from now on, whenever you face so-called problems, challenges, upsets, unexpected events, disappointments, upheavals in your life, instead of your mind starting to race, something very different happens. The temperature of your love goes up. The volume of your love goes up. The depth of your love goes up. At the same time, the depth of your silence increases. So you respond to all these challenges of life now with even more love, even more silence. And by silence, I mean that inner stability, that inner resourcefulness, that inner clarity of seeing things the way they are. So maybe earlier it might have happened that a lot of thoughts came, a lot of wondering what to do came. But now, primarily what happens is love and silence. Love and silence, loving silence and silence loving. And then from this state, if any thoughts have to emerge, they emerge. And of course, actions will happen. But your primary response is loving silence to any upheaval of life. And of course, every situation in life, not just the ups and downs. This is your primary state, but it gets even more accentuated. There's that nice book, when tough times come, the tough get going, or something like that. So basically, these tough times actually trigger you into deeper states of love and silence. And that's my precise and potent wish for every single one of you. If that resonates, gently nod your head and own it. And let this be your new reality. Step into it. Reclaim your inheritance. This is actually the way you are. Somehow you forgot, maybe. But now you're reclaiming it. And notice what that feels like. So my next very precise blessing for you is that you have a very unique power. You can fill in the blanks for the statement, in my presence, beings experience, and fill in the blanks. So for example, in my presence, beings experience complete self-acceptance. That could be an example. Or in my presence, beings experience the ability to be entirely authentic. Or beings experience excitement to create their dream life. Or beings experience the key to unlock their true potential. And you can come up with your own full form for that. So in my presence, beings, and then you fill in the blank. Yeah, when the going gets tough, the tough gets going. Yeah, that's right. That's the book. So in my presence, beings, and then you fill in the blanks. So for example, one of my favorites is, in my presence, beings receive an incorruptible seed of awakening. So two things are going to happen. One is you can fill in the blanks. And the second is you can determine your presence in terms of space-time. So you could say, okay, this affects everyone in a radius of 10 feet, 100 feet, a kilometer, 30 kilometers, 300 kilometers. And you can decide the radius. And in that radius, whatever you've decided, that happens. And you can also do it in terms of time. So in terms of a minute or an hour or a year or a lifetime or even across lifetimes. There's a fascinating teaching in India. They say that when you practice, 7 generations benefit. 7 generations in the past and 7 generations in the future benefit when you practice the way you're practicing right now. In other words, you're thoroughly intertwined with all of existence. And of course, you don't have to, if you don't set any setting, then it'll just happen naturally. But I'm just telling you, you can, if you choose to. In my presence, beings experience. So now go ahead in the next minute, come up with something. You can always refine it later. But for now, in my presence, beings experience, and fill in the blanks. See what's coming for you. And if any of you want to give me your version in the chat, it'll be nice to see what some of you have come up with. In my presence, Beings experience or beings, anything? So we have a few examples here. In my presence, beings feel like they're at home. Beings experience radiance. In my presence, beings experience love. Beings experience high energy. In my presence, beings experience bliss and joy, healing and safety. Beings experience peace, warmth and comfort. That's nice. Love, compassion, and kindness, nurture and love. Yeah, so there are many, many different examples coming. Infinite love, love, equanimity and joy, divine love and silence. In my presence, beings experience their divinity which shines through. Amazing. Beings feel that there is something deeply beautiful about them. Yeah. Now, very quickly, you'll realize that for beings to experience that, you need to embody that. So every time you remind yourself, in my presence, beings experience whatever you've written, whatever you've come up with, in that moment, you are embodying that, but that's the power of the intention. And it impacts not only those in your immediate vicinity, it impacts those spatially and across time. And it's really true. It does. And I invite you to be playful with this. You know, this universe is not as linear and logical as we imagine. It's a far more mysterious universe than we imagine. Like, I'll give you one example. There's so many, but I'll give you one from my life where about 7-8 years back, I decided that I don't want to teach people only through retreats and workshops and internet and everything. I want people to be able to get whatever guidance they want from me or what I represent, even in their dreams. And from that day till today, there have been so many emails I've received from people telling me how they dreamt of me and this happened and that happened. And literally, I mean, it's amazing. And you could say, oh, that's a coincidence. But what a great coincidence. That at least, like, whether or not I do anything, what a fun intention. Amazing. That beings experience access to their own wisdom through, there's a nice word in Pali, nimitta, through an image or a nimitta, a sign of me in their dreams. It doesn't even have to be me, but the point is, it's amazing. So like this. So go ahead and own this now, whatever you've written, whatever you've come up with. And I want you to raise the volume from 10% up to 100%. Become that. Embody that. You are that. Whatever you've come up with, it's going to keep on getting refined until it's absolutely precisely what you're here to represent. It's your signature frequency in this world. You are the lighthouse of this particular precise frequency in the world. And it radiates inwards and outwards, timelessly, infinitely. Updating all your DNA and realigning all your brain circuits to be in alignment with what we've just said. My next powerful blessing, this is a particularly powerful blessing, so I hope you all receive it. My next powerful blessing for you is If there is anyone in this world that you appreciate or admire or respect for any reason, just by thinking of them, looking at them, reading about them, when your heart smiles in appreciation, in respect, when you think of them, when you honor them, respect them, in that precise moment, their qualities get transferred to you. Whatever you admire in another, you strengthen in yourself. What you appreciate will appreciate. So from this moment forward, keep looking for people you admire, respect, look up to, are inspired by. Because in that very moment, those qualities are getting strengthened in you and you're finding there is no separation. It is only because you had those qualities in yourself that you could recognize it in the other person. And so you own it. And if you can just sustain this appreciation, this respect, this admiration for even 3 breaths, it reaches every single cell of your body. It completely rewires your entire brain. So try now. Think of any person you admire. Could be a business person, could be a spiritual leader, could be a healer, could be a friend, an aunt, an uncle, grandparent. Think of one such person to keep it simple. Think of a quality that they have that you really admire. And for the next 3 breaths, be in a state of smiling heart admiration. Amazing. This has now been transferred to every single cell of your being, every different level of your consciousness. And this is your lifelong ability. The moment you appreciate, admire, respect anybody, their qualities spontaneously get strengthened in you. If you sustain it for 3 breaths, they transfer to every single cell of your being. If this resonates, gently nod your head. And own it. This is your new capacity. The next superpower I want to give you, bless you with, some of you will really like this one. Whenever there's a book you really like, that you could like the topic, you could like the cover, you could like the author, you could like the subject, and you're really keen to learn what's in this book. So of course you can read it, that's great. But the simple act of looking at that book with appreciation, or thinking of that book with appreciation, or thinking of that author, the author put such a lot of effort, he or she really put a lot of love and attention into writing this book. And if you were to hold that thought of love and appreciation for even 2 or 3 breaths, then all that knowledge of that book gets intuitively transferred to you. So this is designed to completely eradicate any lingering guilt for having not read a book that you bought or you were planning to read. All you have to do is think of the book or look at the book or hold the book and have a sense of love for this book, love for the cover, love for the subject, love for the theme, love for the style of writing, love for the author or authors, love for the publisher. And take 3 breaths like this. Why don't you try right now? Think of any book. And 3 loving breaths. And whatever book you thought of, intuitively, the essence of that book is now intuitively available to you. And I'm going to give you one further superpower, which will blossom soon enough. If you repeat what we just did 12 times. So basically 12 books, right? If any of you repeat this 12 times, you will get an additional ability to look at an entire shelf full of books, an entire cupboard full of books, an entire library full of books. And the same thing will get triggered. But in order to do that, you have to do this 12 times. Start with single books. Do this 12 times, 3 breaths each. And then you will have a superpower to breathe in with love and appreciation an entire shelf full of books. And intuitively, all of that will be transferred to you. If any of this resonates, smile and nod. And this will be your new superpower. Yeah, 12 different books. Yeah. Any 12 books. Just feel the joy of this. And the next blessing I want to give you, it makes sense if you think of a frying pan. Frying pan can be used to make all kinds of food. It has the handle and it has the pan. But if you're not careful, then if you hold the pan when it's hot, you can actually burn yourself quite badly. You need to hold the handle. So the reason I'm giving you this example is desire is like a frying pan. And if you hold the wrong side of the frying pan, you're going to get burnt. So the superpower I'm giving every single one of you is this one, that any desire could be a desire for health, for wealth, for success, for love, for accomplishment, for spiritual growth, you name it, any kind of desire. You now have the intuitive capacity to hold it from the handle, which means you feel grateful before it comes true. You're grateful for health before you have that level of health. You're grateful for wealth before you have that level of wealth. You're grateful for success and fulfillment before it happens. You're grateful for what you want even before it happens. And you fill yourself with that gratitude. So this is the new way you approach any desire in your life. To be grateful for the essence of what you're looking in that desire, even before it happens. So if this resonates, gently nod your head. And let's try it with any one aspiration, vision, or desire. Let's just do a simple one. Let's do it with health, right? We all have some intentions for our health. Could be for our immunity, could be for our stamina, could be for our strength, could be for our sleep, our diet. Just take any one wish you have or intention you have for your health. Maybe the way you want to look, could be anything. And now you hold the handle instead of the frying pan. The frying pan would be you're feeling bad that you're not there yet. And you wonder if you'll ever get there. That's called holding the frying pan. That's the way most people hold desire. But now we're going to hold the handle. We're going to feel grateful for exactly what we've thought of, even before it happens. Let's do this for the next few breaths. And one of the easy ways to do this is you take your desire and you put it into the past. So instead of hoping you get there one day, you put it into the past. It's already happened. It's a done deal. Try that. Put your desire into the past. Now you're into complete gratitude, vibrational alignment with whatever you've thought of. It's already so. So this is your new superpower. To hold desire from the handle and not from the hot part. And if this resonates, gently nod your head. This is your new reality. My next blessing for you, every single one of you, is that you have the capacity to appreciate and bless endlessly. So like, I feel, like what I'm doing right now, I feel I could just go on forever. So I want you to have this capacity as well. I want you to have the capacity to go on appreciating any person, any situation, anything in the world. You could appreciate it endlessly. You could find things that are true and good and beautiful about it endlessly. And you could also bless endlessly. And you know what? Both of them together are so powerful. So either you appreciate something in people around you, situations around you, or you bless. If you can't find something to appreciate, then you bless. So either appreciate or bless. When you appreciate, you see what's already there. When you bless, you invoke what's not yet there, but they are, by the sheer power of your attention, by the sheer magic of that, you are bringing it into form, because thought is also real. What you think about is as real as what you experience. So my powerful blessing for every single one of you is the capacity for infinite gratitude, appreciation, and the capacity for infinite blessings. And if I challenge you to do it continuously for a day, for a week, for a month, for a year, for the rest of your life, you would not hesitate. You have this infinite capacity for appreciation, infinite capacity for blessings. If this resonates, gently nod your head. And my wholehearted blessing for every single one of you is that you lose this fascination of trying to be like anybody else. You lose the fascination of trying to be more like this person or that person. But you see, those people have already lived that life. The Buddha has already done the Buddha role. Krishna has already done the Krishna role. Christ has already done the Christ role. So while you can admire and appreciate people like we talked about earlier, which is great, you imbibe their qualities, but you have no interest in being like anybody else. You will be like yourself. You will be like a unique synthesis, a unique fingerprint, a unique expression of the infinite in this form. Today, someone sent me a message comparing me to some, wishing me well that I become more like these teachers. I said, no, I don't want to become like any other teacher. Why would I want to be like any other teacher? I want to be like me. I have no interest in being like any other teacher. And I wish them well, they're doing great. So my deep, wholehearted wish for every single one of you is you lose your fascination of trying to be like anybody else. You be you. Yes, you can admire them. You take in their good qualities, but you're not going to be like anybody else. Because you know what? If you try to be like anybody else, it's a recipe for failure. You cannot be. You cannot be like them. You will only come up 50%, 60%, 99%. You cannot never be fully like them. I used to travel to many ashrams and different spiritual centers, and I found it amusing how so many of the followers had a hairstyle like their teacher and they dressed like their teacher. And at one level, it's very beautiful. They're trying to emulate their teacher. But at another level, it's quite sad. They're trying to look like Sri Aurobindo. They're trying to look like Sri Sri Ravi Shankar. Just be yourself. It's okay. Just be yourself. So lose your fascination for trying to be like anybody else. You be the unique expression of you in this world and let other people be themselves. Guru means G, you are you. And that's my wholehearted wish for you. Not all of you will like this wish, which is fine. So then you shake your head and say, no, that's not for me. And that's fine. But if it is for you, then you nod your head and you receive this powerful blessing. G is like G-E-E, G, G. Also now India, we can say J-I, G, because we said G at the end. G, you are you. What's that saying? Be yourself. Everyone else is already taken. Something like that. So my wholehearted wish for you is wherever you happen to be, let's just say physically and mentally, wherever you happen to be, everything rejoices in your company. So like, for example, I'm in this room right now, and everything in this room is rejoicing in my company. The curtains, the windows, the furniture, the floor, the various little things in the room. They're all rejoicing in my company, and I'm rejoicing in their company. So wherever you go, living and non-living beings, everything and everyone rejoices in your company. Even if you were to go to a, let's say, not a very clean place, that place also rejoices in your company. They're so happy that you've come. That place is happy. The things there are happy. So whether it's a very clean place or a dirty place, it's a fragrant place or a smelly place, it's an organized place or a disorganized place, it's a so-called holy place or a so-called ordinary place, could be a bus stand, could be a busy place, could be a quiet place, could be a very natural place, could be a so-called unnatural place. Wherever you go, everything there and everyone there is delighted and rejoices in your presence. And you are equally delighted and rejoice in being there. In other words, from this moment onwards, wherever you go, you are a blessing and you receive a blessing. You can never go to the wrong place. You can never, ever in your life go to any wrong place. If that resonates, gently nod. And my next very precise blessing for every single one of you is that two dimensions of your evolution, one is self-realization, the other is self-actualization. So when it comes to self-realization, it will be joyful and effortless. Joyful and effortless. And when it comes to self-actualization, it will be joyful and fun. You will get self-realized in a joyful and effortless way, and you'll get self-actualized in a joyful and fun way. There's joy in both, and one has the quality of effortlessness, and the other has the quality of fun. You could even say the quality of play. So if this resonates, nod. And so it is. Tathastu. My self-realization will be joyful and effortless. My self-actualization is and will be joyful, fun, and playful. In the next few minutes, we're going to accelerate this whole process by a factor of 100. So actually, I'm not going to be saying much, but I will continue to bless you now in a more energetic way. And not only that, as I'm doing this, you will also think of ways of blessing yourself and everybody else in the group. And time is not a factor. Some of you are watching the recording, doesn't matter. Some of you are live with me. Every single wish of mine and yours getting transferred to everybody, if it is right for them, if it is right for them. So now let's go into a deeper state where the powerful transfer of blessings happening all around. A web of light is getting created. And just enjoy this process. And if it's true that every single wish I've made for every single one of you, if it is true that it's come from a sincere place, it's come from a genuine place, it's come from a loving place. If that is true, then there is no power in this universe that can stop it from being true. And if you have received it also from an open space, a welcoming space, if you have felt expanded and inspired and touched by some of these wishes, then nothing in this universe, including yourself, can stop this from being the absolute truth. And I make the statement of truth. This is called Satya Kriya, by the power of this truth, by the power of my genuine, sincere wanting and wishing, and your genuine and sincere receiving, and also wanting and wishing. The web is complete, the circle is complete, and it expands outward into infinity and inward into zero, completely reformatting the structure of our universe forever and ever. It is impossible, no matter how hard you try, to go back to your previous reality, because you've just entered a brand new universe with brand new physics, brand new principles, brand new energetics. Welcome to your new reality. And so it is. And so it is. And so it is. And touch your heart. Moment of gratitude. And if anyone feels like saying something, we have another 2 or 3 minutes. If you want to say something in the chat before we end, you can. A new me soaked in blessings. I like how, Ravi, you became a mew me. You sound like a cat. It's all warm. New me, feeling emotional. Amazing blessing session. Gratitude, infinite, immense gratitude. Deep gratitude for activating the alchemy. Thank you for saying what I wanted to hear the most. It's so beautiful. I am a new me. Thank you for all the blessings. Gracias for the abundance showered. Immense gratitude. Absolutely beautiful. Arigato, Mayurma. Beautiful. See what fun this is? And we all have this capacity. You don't have to be a great spiritual master to do this. We all have capacity to give and receive blessings. So at the very least, which is not the least, of course, all of it has been activated. But the foundation for you is to remember how powerful you are. How powerful you are. Don't waste your time with people who complain. Come back to your full power, your full potency. Shift from victim-mindedness to owning your full creative power. Each one of us, every moment, we're creating our world based on our perceptions, based on our activated way of looking at things. I once said there are only 3 things to do in life, 3 places to focus. Focus on gratitude, focus on the now, and focus on what's focusing. That's a nice summary. Focus on gratitude and blessings, focus on the now, and focus on what's focusing. That kind of encapsulates pretty much everything you need to know for conscious living. Beautiful, beautiful. All right, everybody. And if you haven't seen it yet, I've given a video on Instagram about 3 practices, non-negotiable practices. So why don't you look that up? I bless you with the power of doing those 3 non-negotiables and making them the part of your life. The last focus is focus on what's focusing. Awareness of awareness. That's the 3. That's the 3rd one. All right. Have a lovely day, evening, wherever you are. Be well. Goodbye.